Hello everyone, I'm still making videos. so, I wanted to say to you guys this video is in regards to being a spiritual teacher. I had a very interesting conversation today with a being that I met just on the street, just talking shit. And he had a lot of nice, interesting things to say. We shared a wonderful and amazing conversation for about like an hour more than I thought I was going to be outside. But you know what? Sometimes you meet people and you're supposed to meet people. You're supposed to tell them things. They're supposed to tell you things. And so somewhere along the line, anywhere between now and like, I don't know, the rest of my existence in this form, in this life, I'll use it in some way, shape, or form, right? Some people, you experience these things because some people need energy, so you interact with them because they need energy, they need somebody to talk to, or you need somebody to talk to, or you need to have some sort of confirmation that people are listening and that there are conscious people out there, regardless of how wrong or right you think that their consciousness is or what level of their consciousness is. But sometimes those things do happen. Someone's texting me. Sometimes these things do happen so that you get confirmation, and I feel like that's what happened to me today, is where I was talking to this individual and he just wanted to let me know like all of these wonderful things that he knew about spirituality, etc., his thoughts, his emotions, um, where he thought it was right, like, you know, just a lot of things. But I also noticed things about myself, and I brought up things about himself that I realized as we were having a conversation. When you are having a conversation with someone whom you do not think is spiritual or has any consciousness or knows anything about, you know, how this world came to be, about important information, don't do this. Don't get in their face, because then you sound like a crazy Christian. And don't get in their face. Don't tell them like what they think is wrong. Don't go off on a rant just talking shit and not listening to what the other person has to say, because you are not perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect being. There's no such thing as everyone has a twin flame and you're gonna just push the whole twin flame shit on people. That's bullshit, okay? When you're in the spiritual plane and you know that you have information like in regards to your spirit, your guides, your ancestors, whatever, and it's a download for you, not everyone needs to get it, and not everyone's gonna believe in this whole twin flame shit. It's not that I don't believe in the whole twin flame situation. um it's that I understand that there's just a few beings in this planet that will create the whole. There's a few beings on this planet that have the Isis DNA, that have her memory, that have her energy, and that will have the original blueprint in their DNA. And they say things like, oh, you know, I am this person. I was the reincarnated person of that person, you know? Like, I can say that. I can totally, I say that. I vouch that shit. I'm like, you know what? I was baptized into the ISIS, like, you know. I tell people I was baptized into the ISIS rites, so I know, because it's in my DNA. Am I the only one with that DNA? No. Am I the only one experiencing this stuff? No. Are there many Isises and Osets and Asurs and Osirises out there? Absolutely. There's certain people with the original blueprints, not the story that the Matrix tries to feed you, but they have the hurt, the pain, the happy times, the fall, the highs, the lows, you know. And so they have this information. So when you're talking to people and you're telling people or trying to tell them who they are, or you're trying to give them information because you're actually really concerned with compassion, and you actually do have compassion for people, then you should be standoffish. There is no need for that, because then you'll never get the message across. It just seems like you're like pushing things onto people, which I told him, right? And then in regards to me, I don't like it when people tell other people like, oh, you're not doing enough, you know. That's stupid. Like, don't tell people that shit. Don't tell people, oh, that's all that what you're doing for the planet. Is this all that you're doing for the planet? Meanwhile, they're out here with a whole bunch of fucking issues, a whole bunch of fucking shit, which they're not fixing, so they can't possibly be fixing things for the planet. when their lives is not fixed. You can't. Like, I'm sorry. I've had to let go of a lot of things. Just because I live in a room, just because I got kicked out, doesn't mean I'm not fixing things for people. I had to stop and pause and fix things for myself, right? And that's why I'm not taking, like, I don't do, like, spell work for people, because I can't do that right now. Because I consciously know and I'm aware that I can't do that for anybody else. This is my time now. And when that, process or situation resumes, and when I have the space and when I have the energetical frequency to do so, then I will do so. In the meantime, I have to fix myself. And as I'm fixing myself, I'm sure the frequency of myself multiplies itself, right? And you should know that. So no one has to be standoffish, pushy in regards to, there's things here, like there's things that people know here on this planet that only like a few people know. No, that's bullshit. Because everyone knows. It's just up to you whether you want to explore that knowledge or not. Everyone knows. Everyone has the story within their DNA. Everyone. That's why Isis, or Set, however you want to call her, is known to be one of the supreme beings who is a perfectionist at not just magic but alchemy. Which some people say it's one and the same thing. Whatever you want to say. So just try that. You guys knowing that you're a healer, and knowing that you opened the doorways and frequency to healers, doesn't mean that everyone has to listen to you. You're gonna look crazy to certain people, or telling people, like, I know the answer to this. Like, just please don't do that. Don't do that. That's very annoying. That's annoying. You're coming off as an annoying person. Just because you have information that other people don't have doesn't mean that you have to tell other people that you have that information. There's a reason for the word secrets. You sometimes you can keep the word secret. And if you see yourself or have found yourself finding your tribe, so your tribe, or just people that know about spirituality, doesn't mean that you have to give them information. You're supposed to be keeping secrets as well, okay? Because their frequency is probably somewhere, that you're not, and they're not ready to hear those secrets. So just give them some of the information and not everything, and then you can just, move on from there, because they have to have their own experience. You giving people information left and right doesn't mean that you're doing anything for them, because they have willpower. They have a choice. See, the Loa told me the other day, you can now have a choice, right? Not because I don't have free will, but they're basically saying, like, I am now the pendulum, like, here you go. This was the gift. So now you have yourself. We will always be here, but you have to have yourself. You have to make these decisions, choices. We've brought you this far now, from 28 years until, from 29 until whenever your time is off or your time is up in this physical plane. You have to, it's not all you. And we're here to serve you. Here we are. When you need us, we'll be here. Which is not, it's not like that in spirituality. It's not how people make it seem. It's not all fruity color pebbles. And, they're always there to serve. If you give them little bribes and little offerings, they're going to just be there. Let me bribe this person. You have to have, your heart has to be as light as a feather for you to be able to serve them serve you, and not be bamboozled in certain situations. And I'll just leave it at that, so you guys can understand. Somewhere along the line it'll click, okay? So don't do that. Don't push people around and telling them things like, this is exactly what's happening. No, I'm telling you this is exactly what's happening, because it's not happening for them. That's not what's happening for them, because where you're going, no one else can go, right? That's what that means. Where you're going, no one else can go. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Like, try not to be so standoffish and try to tell people like they're going the wrong way, or they know it's just like, this is how it is, and don't act this way, or don't do this, don't do that, or is this enough? Is this what you're doing? Because you don't know where that person just came from. You don't know what their trauma is. People are allowed to have a pause in their life. People are allowed to act the way they want to act, however they want to act. If it bothers you, tell them, and then you'll decide from there. But people are entitled to their own emotions, their own feelings. Um, Poverty will always exist. There's some people that need to learn their karma and their dharma. Don't in the spiritual realm, don't try to tell people it has to all be perfect. Oh, well, that's all you're doing, but there's poor people out there still. There's going to be poor people always, because there's poor people in here. So yes, there's going to be a space for people that need to be in that space. um Karma and dharma, there needs to be that space. There will always be that space. There will always be space for scammers. There will always be space for rich people. There's always going to be a caste system everywhere you go in this galaxy. It doesn't matter where the fuck you are in this galaxy. That's how it works. Or even in this universe, that's how it works. And then when you get to the next universe and that shit is mirroring you back, it's gonna do the same thing. Okay, so that's how that works. So that's what I wanted to say. So when you guys meet people in the street, or they meet you, and they want to sit there and like shove information down your throat that you either already know and understand in your own right, because you can be watching this video here and the shit that might not be resonating, and then you might just turn somewhere else, which is fine, and I have to respect that. So I cannot be standoffish. So what you see in these videos, it's my content. It's what I put out there. So that's all I have to say about that. So I had a good time getting to know this person. I didn't want to connect with him in any other way, shape, or form, because I didn't need that energy. And I also know like why. I guess I needed the energy for like that 1 minute, right? Where he had like a lot of energy, and because I was like just sleepy all day and like in my cocoon all day and just wanting to relax all day, I needed that boost. And then when I had enough, I'm like, that's it, thanks, that was all. So alchemy. And he probably needed some of my energy too. He probably needed some good luck. So we vibed off each other. As Venusian beings, we vibed off each other. So that's what happens. So don't want to just attach to people. Also, when you meet people that have your same frequency or that you can have conversations with, there's no attachment, right? Because things are infinite. He's probably watching this video because I told him I had a channel. But things are infinite, okay? So don't attach yourself to people just because you met them, and because you might not have like other people to talk to, because I have that problem. And sometimes I don't have anyone else to talk to besides like this camera and like my boyfriend. He listens to my rants in regards to like spirituality. Or if it comes up, you know, I try to like not be on that topic while I'm at work because of a previous like experience that I had where this bitch just went crazy. She like found herself and she found herself, but then it's like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not even gonna give it energy. But anyway, just psychotic people. People turn psychotic. There's like a very thin line between like getting information and then turning psychotic. There's a very thin line in the spiritual world that we live in today. So yeah, so just so you guys know, just vibe off of one another, but don't get attached to people, because I've done it to people. Why I get attached to people that I know, because it's like a rare experience, and it's like sometimes the universe just gives me that, or I put myself or plant myself into these situations where I need it, and then I don't want to go because it feels good. It feels like I'm in a familiar place, you know, or in a good space. So, and I'm sure he'll probably be astral traveling or something and want to like have more of my space, but yeah, no. I've already made sacrifices for myself and for the world as a healer. And now it's my time to pause, and people need to just fuck off, honest to God. I mean, I feel like I'm elevating myself, but the more I elevate myself, the more difficult it is for me to not be around people that need it. Because that's basically what you're doing. So the more information you know, you have to go to people that actually need the information and the download, and it's difficult because sometimes the energy that they bring is just no good. Okay, so when you're healing and you're doing these things and you're meeting people in the streets, which I've told the universe I want to do it, but I didn't know how to. Well, now I have to like bring on the dancing lobsters and have these around all the time. because some people's energies are just no good, which they feel that they're good. Well, they themselves within themselves feel like their energy is good, but it's no good. Because they have so many portals open, which is fine during this time of the year. But if you're having all these portals open constantly during all the time, it's no good. That's why I told my boyfriend, like, I can't smoke. I can't smoke because I'll have these portals open all the time, and it's no good. Because I'll just never want to be in my physical body. I just want to have like my ethereal body, or my cord will be constantly flowing everywhere, and I can't do that because I need myself down here. So yeah, that's what happened to me today. Hi. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.